Now here's a hack you didn't know about real estate. It's not just about buying a property, it's about buying the right property. Now let's dive in today about how you can avoid the common pitfalls most people make when they're buying their first real estate asset. First step, know your criteria. You need to develop what's called the crystal clear criteria. You need to know what age you're buying, what area you're buying in, what asset class, what's your budget for renovations and purchase price. These are all really valuable tools to help you filter down the wide berth of properties into the specific properties you are going after. The secret people don't tell you about the crystal clear criteria is that as you continually underwrite properties in your criteria, you will slowly become an expert in that area. It'll help you underwrite properties faster, easier, and with less mistakes. Now let's talk about numbers. After personally underwriting hundreds of properties, I can tell you it comes down to these 6 categories: income, expenses, debt, reserves, renovations, and closing costs. First off is income. Make sure you research your market rents and make sure that your projections are accurate to those. Then there's expenses, and this is where a lot of people get confused. You need to account for all the actual expenses. It's not just taxes and insurance, it's all the other things on top of that. That means your snow removal, that means your lawn care, pest control, cleaning. Then there's your maintenance reserve. You need to put aside at least 10% for just repairs and maintenance. Then set aside another 5% for your capital expenditures reserve. So that means when you need to replace the roof and things like that. Then there's your management fee, which is 8 to 10% depending on the size of your property. Even if you're planning on self-managing, you still need to keep this in. Because at some point you may want to hire a property management company so you don't have to be active in the business anymore. Then the unit turns. These are the costs associated with getting the unit ready to rent. This is typically just minor repairs and a cleaning fee, but it all adds up. Moving on, the third category is debt. You just need to get quotes from local lenders so you understand what your rates are going to be. Number 4 is reserves. Always have a financial cushion because things can go wrong. I typically will have at least a month's rent or a minimum of $5,000 just in case. Renovations. Whatever your renovation expenses are going to be for the property, always make sure to put that in this section. And at a bare minimum, at least have $1,000 per unit because there's always going to be something wrong. Number 6 is closing costs. This can be overlooked sometimes, but it's pretty easy to get. You just ask your bank or title company how much it's going to cost and they'll tell you. Remember, don't just guess your numbers, get actual quotes and estimates. It doesn't matter what someone else can get it done for, it matters what you can get it done for. It's just a couple emails away and you'll have your answers. Another thing most people will overlook is a property inspection. It's very, very important. You need to get the property inspected. That way you really know what you're buying. And don't just get a contractor to inspect it, get an actual property inspector to inspect it. A contractor will sometimes be very biased in wanting to get the bid, and so they'll tell you what you want to know, because worst case scenario for them, they're going to get a bigger job. You need to hire an actual property inspector that is paid and obligated to act in your best interests, not someone who's incentivized in the opposite direction. The biggest mistake people make when investing in real estate is forcing deals to work. You run the numbers on the property and it either works or it doesn't work. A property that cash flows just because you're managing it is not truly cash flowing. And beware, because properties that are cheap for a reason. It could be structural issues, location drawbacks, or legal complications. It's your job to find out what it is, put a price tag on it, and decide whether or not it's worth your time. In conclusion, smart real estate investing is about due diligence, understanding the numbers, and being honest with yourself on whether or not a deal works. It's better to miss out on a deal than to buy yourself a headache. If you're interested in learning some more, click the link below. I'm going to send you a copy of my underwriting guide. That way you can be more informed the next time you look at a real estate deal. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to drop a follow below for some more real estate investing tips.